Police are investigating a deadly shooting at an Antioch market. Cuthbert Langley's been following this story for us all morning, and we understand a second person was injured and taken to the hospital.
Amy, yes, and that person was the clerk who was working inside of this express market behind me here on Antioch Pike, when he was shot in the head at point blank range by one of these robbers. Take a look at video from late last night. This happened around 10:30, and it's been a very complicated case for police this morning, and it comes down to surveillance video helping them put together exactly what happened. Police say 3 armed men walked inside of this market with the intention of robbing it. One of the suspects went to crawl underneath the counter. That's when the gun another suspect had accidentally discharged. That bullet hit and killed that suspect crawling underneath the counter. So the 2 other suspects, keep in mind, they're armed here. They start freaking out. They grab the clerk, start dragging him through the store, and some sort of a scuffle breaks out between them. And that's when one of the other suspects pulls out his gun and then shoots the clerk in the head before running away from the scene. So right now, police are looking for 2 armed men. They have not given us any good descriptions yet at this point. That's because they were supposedly wearing masks during all of this. So they were working on trying to get us a clothing description or perhaps even a name so we can better understand who they're looking for this morning. But that clerk is in surgery right now at Vanderbilt Medical Center, has life-threatening injuries, and he is in critical condition this morning. And you see officers are still out here on the scene this morning, speaking with the store owner and hoping more witnesses come forward to provide a little more information about what was truly a disturbing and tragic story out here at Antioch this morning. We're live along Antioch Pike. I'm Cuthbert Langley, News Channel 5 HD.
Thank you, Cuthbert. A teenager is in the hospital after being shot multiple times in Clarksville. It happened just after midnight on Water's Edge Drive in Clarksville. The 17-year-old has been airlifted to Vanderbilt, and we're told he is expected to survive. No suspects are in custody, but anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers 931-645-TIPS. More breaking news now out of the Hermitage area, where a deadly wrong-way crash shut down part of Old Hickory Boulevard for several hours. Matthew Torres there at the crash site. And Matthew, we've had several of these crashes lately, these wrong-way crashes. What do police think happened here?
A lot of officers were just stunned out here early this morning to think of yet another wrong-way crash. Now, one other driver was sent to the hospital after she was struck by a wrong-way driver. Take a look at video from the scene. This happened at 12:40 out here on Old Hickory Boulevard, just south of Franklin Pike. Police say the woman, who we know is in her 40s, was traveling south in a Honda Civic on the northbound lanes of Old Hickory Boulevard, essentially the wrong way, and crashed right into that SUV. The woman died here at the scene. As far as the driver of the SUV, she is expected to survive. She was sent to the hospital with only minor injuries. Get this, there was a dog with her at the time. That dog was ejected because of the collision, but the dog will be okay. So far, we don't know the identity of the victim. We're waiting for police to release it, of course, pending a next of kin. As soon as we get that information, we'll make sure to pass it along on air and online at newschannel5.com. But again, one woman is dead after yet another wrong-way crash. Live in Hermitage, I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Matthew, thank you. Armed and dangerous and on the run. Right now, manhunt's underway for this man, Bobby Lenore III. The 18-year-old is wanted in connection to the murder of Charles Whitfield, who was shot and killed during a party in Clarksville last month. 2 other teens are already behind bars for the shooting, including Lenore's brother, Tremont. And the 3 men accused of killing and kidnapping Holly Bobo could face the death penalty. Jason Autry, Zach Adams, and his brother Dylan were arraigned yesterday on the new charges of murder, kidnapping, and rape. Prosecutors told the judge they would seek the death penalty. A special counsel has been appointed for them who's qualified to handle a capital punishment case. They'll be back in court at the end of August. Holly was just 20 years old when she went missing from her rural Parsons home in April of 2011. Some of her remains were found back in September. And police have found a stolen ATM machine, and now they're trying to find the thieves and the $8 grand they got away with. Officers found the ATM at a construction site in Millersville and the empty cash box not far away. Detectives say they stole it from Sad Sam's Fireworks off Highway 25 and put it in the back of their truck before trying to steal another ATM at a market on Rivergate Parkway. Officers caught up with them in Madison and arrested one woman, but 3 men took off. Police released these photos of the suspects. We're told at least one of them is from Texas. Anyone with information is asked to call police. And take a close look at these pictures. Clarksville police say this is a man wanted in connection to a string of car burglaries. We're told most of the crimes happened in parking lots of preschools, of child care facilities. So if you recognize this man, call police. Mayor Carl Dean's plan to move the jail and police headquarters out of downtown is now facing some uncertainty. Metro Council members have filed amendments to have the jail and likely the police headquarters yanked from consideration from this year's budget. The move comes after hundreds voiced their concerns at Tuesday night's council meeting.
If this is the largest investment in public safety in our city, we ought to have that discussion across the county as how we want to handle that.
Sheriff Darren Hall released a statement saying in part that removing the project from the budget goes against recommendations from experts and it could create a liability for the city. The amendments will be up for discussion next Tuesday when council members vote for the final time on the budget.